So what the licenses that you need? Licenses you already have likely for Revit and or Inventor, depending on who you are in this process. The only thing that's additional is access to Autodesk Docs. In general, Revit folks that are doing cloud work sharing are going to have access to Autodesk Docs by default to just do that process. Probably the license that will be new is for the Inventor folks to get this Autodesk Docs license. I'm not a salesperson, but it's in the scope of what an Inventor costs. A Docs license is relatively inexpensive, especially if you know, we're selling content to the architect is going to buy some products from you, right? So should easily cover that. Where are the links? So there's the links. So autodesk.com/products/informed design, Inventor, or Revit. And just a quick look at where those are, what they look like. So on the Inventor page, there's a download now button. So this is an add-in to an Inventor. So it gives you all the different tabs and tools in the ribbon that Jim just showed. And the same thing for the Revit folks, a download now button. What is important to know, it's the oldest version you can start with is 24 and more recent. Some of the updates that I showed that happened in 26 don't push backwards. So, and the same for Jim and Inventor. If you want some of those latest and greatest tools, you have to be on the latest and greatest version of the different tool sets. In the architectural world, I know many architects that run 5 flavors of Revit. So in most cases, depending on the project, they will certainly have 26 and or 24, depending on which project they're working on. So that's where we start. How does the manufacturer get access to that project? How does the architect get content from the manufacturer? So steps 3 and 4 are essentially the same thing. It's communication. Hey, I'm Joe Architect. I'd like to use your widget in my project. Instead of this sort of bland generic thing that I've got here, I'd like to invite you to my project. So gets the manufacturer's email, right, from the manufacturer, and that's how the communication would typically start. Just real quick, what does that mean? So here I am as the project administrator for the project. All I've got to do is add a member to the project. So that's how I would invite. And then as the project administrator, I would then have to then give Jim access to the location to then create that content for me. That's really how we get started. So nothing super fancy there. Project admins for BIM projects in the cloud do this all day, every day, whether it's the structural engineer or in this case now the manufacturer getting involved in the process. The new part will be, of course, for the manufacturers now adding their content to this platform. Okay, so that's sort of how we get started.